Today, we're going to be talking about the one thing that I believe everybody who successfully puts pornography behind them for the rest of their lives all have in common. So stick around. You guys, welcome to the Inner Revolution. If this is the first time that you're joining, welcome to the show. Holy smokes, dude. I'm glad to have you here. And second of all, if you are looking for a therapist or a coach to help you put pornography behind you for the rest of your life, then you can go ahead and schedule a free consultation with me through the link down below in the description. You know, I wish I could say that the one common denominator is that they all met with me, but that's not true. But the great idea or the great reason around a consultation is that the number one indicator for successful therapy and coaching is the relationship that you have with your therapist or coach, which is why a consultation is so important. So we can see if we even vibe. And if we don't, then I want you to find somebody that you do vibe with to help you progress the quickest. Enough of that dilly-dally. Let's hop into the episode. So normally I have a pretty good outline for what I'm going to talk about. And today I don't. I think I'm just going to raw dog it, for real. This is something that's been on my mind because I really, at the end of the day, am just trying to find things that help people change their lives when it comes to putting pornography behind them, right? And so I look for patterns, tools, studies, all of these things that point towards what actually works in recovery. What is it? What are the common denominators with people who are able to successfully put pornography behind them compared to those that don't? And I think I found it. At least one of the cores. I don't know how many cores there will be, maybe a handful. But this is one of the main cores that you will need when it comes to recovery and just putting pornography behind you for the rest of your life. And it's this: belief. I think a lot of the time, dude, the problem isn't your effort. I think that you do a lot. I think that you are able to track things like your urges, and you are doing your best to change habits, and you're doing your best to go to group therapy or individual therapy, coaching, all of these things. But why is it still around? I don't think it's what you're doing that's the problem. I think it's what you're thinking up here. You see, most people tend to do the right things. Genuinely, they put effort out there. But I would say the majority of people, and this could include yourself, don't believe that they can do it. They don't believe that this life that they have created, or that this life that they have envisioned, is possible. A life without pornography. A life of being able to cope on their own. Being able to deal with difficult emotions, or to be in a difficult situation in a relationship without turning to pornography to cope with any of those difficulties. Because this problem has most likely been in your life for years, sometimes decades. And so you've fell into this cycle, right? We all know about this whole shame cycle that goes on to pornography. And so at this point, your brain has just expected you to fail when you put up safeguards, when you're trying these new things to put porn behind you. Your brain's man, we've been doing this for 20 years, and so why would changing a little habit fix anything? Why would putting a little filter on my phone change anything? And at the end of the day, it doesn't. It doesn't change anything unless you believe, unless you fully imagine and can feel yourself, feel the life that you want, this life that you desire, it right in front of you. You feel it within arm's reach, and you know that it's possible to get. So this whole idea of trying to put porn behind you is just premeditated failure. It's bound to happen. You're just going to fail at that point. And so what does it look like for someone that believes that they can put pornography behind them? And I think that it really starts obviously up here, but also just the verbiage that you use around other people and around yourself. A lot of people, especially just addicts in general, not even just pornography, but they say things like, I'm a recovering addict, I'm a struggling addict, I struggle with pornography, I struggle with alcohol, whatever it is, right? And the phrase where focus goes, energy flows is too real, man. And so if you focus on, I'm a recovering addict, and you use the verbiage of addict, okay, or I am this. Obviously, we've talked about separating what you do versus who you are. It's different. But you need to change the verbiage to, I am someone who just doesn't watch pornography. Like, just think about it for a second. What is the verbiage that you have about yourself and what you're going through and what you're trying to achieve? What is that like in your head? Because odds are you're still identifying yourself with this addiction in one way or another, which if all you think about is not doing a thing, then you are only thinking about the thing, just not doing it. So remember, the whole idea of recovery, the whole purpose, isn't to just take pornography out of your life. It's not just to create abstinence from pornography. It's to become. It's to become someone different. It's to become this version of you that you have always wanted. That is recovery. It's not just, yeah, I'm not going to watch pornography. It's, okay, this version of me 5 years, 10 years down the road, what is my life like? What am I going to be doing? What types of beliefs do I want to have about myself? What type of lifestyle do I want? What type of relationships do I want with my wife, my kids, my girlfriend, my family? This version of myself, what is it like? Too many of us don't know, and that could include you. Do you know what this version of yourself wants or what that actually looks like in 5 to 10 years? And not just like, oh, I want to be happy or I want to have a good relationship. That's a good start, but what's a level deeper? Go a level deeper. What does that look like? When you say that I want a good relationship, what does it smell like? What does it taste like, feel like? You have to literally start to visualize and feel it. Really feel this life that you want to create. Now, some of you may know kind of what this is based around, and you may not, called The Secret. And I think this really is. I think this plays a really big role in recovery. You can say whatever you want, man, about The Secret or about visualizations or whatever. But whatever your mind can perceive, it can achieve. And where focus goes, energy flows. Too many people focus on, I'm just not going to watch pornography. And pornography becomes the center of their life. Even though obviously you have great intentions, right? Like, you don't want to watch pornography. You don't want any of that. You're trying to put it behind you. But it's the way you're going about it. It's up here that's not convinced. You know, there are interesting studies that have come out recently about affirmations. When you say things like, I am happy, or I am wealthy, I am courageous, all of these things. A couple studies have come out recently showing that those studies, or that affirmations, can actually have a negative effect on you if you don't actually believe them. And that's interesting to me, and I definitely haven't looked super deep into those. I just kind of glossed over them, not in too much detail. But I think when it comes to visualizing and creating the life that you want up here, you can't really quantify that into data. You have to trust that you know what's best for you, and whatever you can imagine your life being, you have to know and believe that that's possible, because it is. And the moment that you can start to really believe that you are a powerful human being, you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. You can become the person that you want. It's possible. It's possible. And a part of the problem, like we kind of talked about, is that whole shame cycle. Like, we slip up and then our verbiage changes to like, oh, I'm a loser, I'm a slip up, whatever, like I freaking suck. But no. This is simply a little data point in this upward graph, right? Start to change the verbiage. You are someone who does not watch pornography. You are a strong, capable, courageous person. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And you can become the person that you've always wanted. You can have the relationships that you want. You can have the job that you want. You can become the father that you've always dreamed of and hoped for. All of that is possible, but it starts here. You have to really see it. What does that look like for you? Do you know? I really challenge you and push you, dude, to try and think about that this week. And here's a fun little exercise, okay? Just a visualization exercise. When, even not when you have an urge, just every day, okay, for 10 minutes, I want you to sit in a chair, kind of relax a little bit, and I want you to start to kind of feel what it would be like to have a trigger, okay, or kind of an urge. And then, you may get like a sensation in your stomach, or your head might get hot, your ears might tingle, whatever. Like when you start to feel that sensation of an urge or a trigger, I want you to, as vividly as possible, imagine what it would be like to react in a way that you want when an urge happens. So when an urge hits, if you've always wanted to just stand up, do 5 jumping jacks, go get a drink of water, and do a little lap around the house or whatever, then imagine that. What would it be like to stand up and start walking? What would the water taste like against your lips, in your mouth, down your throat? Think about it. Go through the whole thing as vividly as possible. Because what's crazy, dude, and I think we've talked about this before, right, is that your mind has a hard time identifying what thoughts are real and what is real, like, in front of you. Does that make sense? So your brain has a hard time understanding that reacting to an urge in the way that you want, literally in the real world versus in your head, your brain has a hard time differentiating the two, which means you can get a bunch of practice in and react to urges in a way that your brain will remember. And your brain, when an urge hits, will remember, oh, like we've done this before. We've done it plenty of times before. Let's do it again, right? But it all starts with belief. You've got to believe that it's possible, dude. And you've got to practice. You got to see it. You got to really visualize it, feel it, taste it, hear it. What is it like? And the more vivid, the more real you can make that, you'll start to see that it's going to start manifesting itself in your reality when it comes to your recovery, when it comes to your becoming this person that you've always wanted to be. So that's what it is. That's the biggest difference compared to when you compare those that do put pornography behind them and those that don't. The people that do believe. They knew that they could do it. They knew that it was possible. And the people that still struggle with pornography, and this could include you, you don't believe. You don't know, you don't think that it's possible for this to happen to you. You hear all the good stories of people putting pornography behind them for good. And there's a small little voice in the back of your head that says, man, that'll never be me. That could never be me. But here's the thing, dude. It can be. It can be you, and it will be you. You just got to start manifesting it, dude. You've got to start living in a way that's congruent with your values. And if you're currently not doing that and it's hard to, start up here. Visualize it. Feel it. What is that like? Get as clear as you can, and you'll know. You'll know what to do next. Anyway, I appreciate you guys listening to my ramble. I'll talk to you in the next video.